Yeah, I don't know why people are all enamored by MIT people. Hold on, let me find the video. Dude's like, I got a 5-point frickin' I graduated with a 4.0 average from MIT and I'm stupid. It's fucking funny, dude. Because the way MIT is structured is that if you're like failing the class or if you're not doing good, right, where you're gonna get a C or a D, you can switch it to pass fail. You could switch your
Oh,
grade
yeah, in the
from
middle, like while you're taking
yeah,
it.
yes, and you can switch it to pass fail, and then if it's pass, that counts as like a 5.0 or 4.0 rather. Yeah, dude.
Oh,
Is
Rusty
this why
P
we're
thinks,
ending up with doctors that use ChatGPT?
yeah.
Probably.
Rusty P thinks we're trolling about the gas pressure gradient. Is that true, Rusty P? Is that what you think?
Depending on the picture that it was about, yes. There's no other way you can explain it without
You
trolling.
think they have a hard boundary? Is that your problem? Is that there's a hard boundary in their little atmosphere?
Yeah, I was just responding to a picture.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm looking at the picture, the one that says how.
Yeah, how like gas pressure exists to a vacuum.
Yeah,
there's no.
It's not meant to be a freaking graphical simulation of a gas pressure gradient in space, dude. It's just meant
even then,
to get people to ask the question, how does it happen? To investigate.
Even then, it's still. It feels like a troll question because at this point, everyone should.
How is it a troll question?
Because I think everyone should understand that there is no vacuum next to gas pressure.
Really?
The question itself is kind of a
There's
dumb
no
question.
vacuum of outer space. Yes, I agree. There has to be a vacuum next to gas pressure. Has to exist.
Like it's
in the goal
like
model.
Vacuum. Yeah. Like a vacuum is though it is kind of arbitrary. Like, you know what we call a.
And why do we use what is we using the word for?
It's kind of if you have a vacuum at home, is it like space?
This is like you're doing like a word context fallacy. We're not using it in that context.
Yeah, I understand that, but like, do you understand that if you go, like, if you increase in elevation, if you go up a mountain or something like that, that like the gas pressure reduces?
Yeah, we know that. Why is that?
And if you go higher and higher and higher and higher and stuff, like you just have like a gradient.
Okay, cool. Does it reduce to zero?
Not to like 0 point something.
Yeah, does it? Well, when does it get to zero? Because if your argument is like there's a gas pressure gradient and it tapers off, like when does it get to zero?
It doesn't have to go to 0. It doesn't ever get to 0.
So it stops at some point, right?
No, it doesn't stop at some point.
No, the gradient stops.
It
stops being a gradient at some point.
No, it doesn't.
So it goes to zero.
No, it does not.
Doesn't converge to zero at some point.
Not really, no. I don't think.
But you know how gradients work, right? You start with some number and then you have some other number and it slowly tapers off to that lower number. What's the lower bound?
I mean, it's just completely different when we talk about.
See, this is the problem with making that silly argument that if it goes down, why doesn't it just keep going down? Because eventually you have to get to zero or some arbitrarily low number that you have no evidence for. And then I go, okay, where's the container there? Well, you can place that container boundary wherever you want, but because the gas pressure has to go down and stop at some point.
It doesn't have to stop. It can fizzle out.
Into what?
Into nothing. There's just
yeah, exactly. Nothing into absolute vacuum. Where's that?
Yeah, there doesn't have to be nothing at all, and there can still be some molecules that float around and shit. I just think
But then there
I'm
wouldn't be a
responding.
vacuum. Even one molecule, if there was
No,
one molecule
it
in a
is.
fucking
So,
light year of space, that's still a that's still a not a perfect vacuum.
okay, but like who like you think that like a vacuum means only that there's completely nothing there. What scientist is actually like, or like who, like Neil deGrasse Tyson or whatever, is saying that there is absolutely nothing in space, like completely nothing.
Well, they make who cares what he says, because they make illogical, inconsistent, and contradictory arguments. Okay? They say there's a gas
But it proves,
pressure gradient and it tapers. And it tapers down to some low value.
yes,
But
exactly.
yeah, great. And that proves that space exists because
No, it doesn't prove it doesn't prove that it exists. It only explains something that happens when you think about going, for example, up a mountain, for example, and you can use your mind to think about, okay, so
use your mind.
if I
I don't want to use
yeah,
my mind, dude. I want to
you
use
don't want to
empirical evidence. That's what I want to use. So I don't have to
yeah, okay.
imagine shit.
Yeah, but if you stand on like sea level and then you climb up a mountain and the air gets thinner
Yeah,
and
great.
thinner and
That's
thinner the
descriptive. That's
further you up,
great. When does it stop getting thinner?
it never really like it never really stops. Like at some point it's so thin that yeah, it doesn't
Is that speculation or
matter.
do you know that?
Well, it's yeah, I guess you can say a speculation from my own
Okay.
experience, yes.
So the difference is you're speculating on when it should stop and when I think it should stop, right? You think it should never stop, even 100 trillion freaking light years away from Earth. There's still a continuing gradient.
No, because there are additional like points of information that you have.
Yeah.
Like it's not just only this one thing that you have like that. Yes, it gets thinner and thinner, but it's like you're a
The major
fucking idiot
problem
going.
the major problem that really exists is the fact that we can talk about it, but nobody can demonstrate it. Can't do this experiment, okay, and insert gas into a vacuum chamber and the gravity of the earth hold the gas away from the vacuum at the bottom of the vacuum chamber. Okay, that doesn't happen. But that's what they say is happening on Earth. And I could take my little vacuum chamber and stick it on the surface of the earth where the gravity is the strongest. And it's not going to hold the gas from the top, away from the top of the chamber where the vacuum is, to the surface of the earth. I'm not going to measure more gas molecules at the bottom because of gravity. There's no, like, it's easy to talk about, right? That, hey, we have some gas pressure gradient and it tapers off into whatever value you want to think, 10 to the negative 22 or for deep interstellar space. Great. That's fine. But experimentally, you can't demonstrate any of this shit. That's the problem. Because science, when you guys just keep
That what? That what?
like you guys really need to get this. And this is why you guys constantly get smashed by us, dude. I'm being honest, is because science is empirical. And you can come up with all these hypotheses. You did say something empirical. When you go up from the sea level to the top of the mountain, the gas pressure gets lower. So what? What is your evidence that it just goes down to some level that you can fly spacecraft in? Or that there's fucking planets in fucking whipping around in a vacuum? Right? You see what I'm saying? Is this gas pressure going down? Either it goes down forever or it stops at some point, right?
Huh?
So
Okay.
so it has to, but your position is it never stops, it just goes down forever. Where does it stop?
Yeah, basically.
It goes down
Like
forever.
kind of levels out at some point.
So we could just, so at some point, if we get far enough away, there'll be like 1 atom per cubic fucking light year. And then if we go fucking further away from that, there'd be 1 atom per 10 cubic light years. Right? Continually going down and down. Then 1 atom per 100 fucking cubic light years. That's all
Mm.
speculative. That's speculative nonsense. There's no evidence that it goes down forever.
There's evidence that it does go down.
Forever?
Doesn't have to be forever. Doesn't really matter
It
to.
does matter because then you're quibbling about where it fucking stops or not.
No, it doesn't have to stop. Like, what are you saying? Like,
Be-
there's like additional information that you have to take into consideration.
yeah, that's what I'm taking into consideration. We're trying to figure out, is there
Okay.
is there a barrier? Is there a barrier that stops the gas from fucking off into some lesser thing region?
No, there is no barrier.
Why not?
There does not have to be a barrier.
Okay, can you demonstrate that in an experiment? That's your hypothesis.
Why would
Rusty P's
I?
hypothesis, we don't need a barrier. Okay,
No, there does
now
not have to be a
what's
barrier
the evidence for
between.
what's the evidence in the natural world for the hypothesis?
Okay, so you know wind, for
Uh,
example.
um,
You
what's
have
the evidence in the natural world for the hypothesis?
yeah
What's the
gas
evidence the
pressure,
hypothesis is true?
one gas pressure amount, higher pressure,
Yeah,
another and a lower pressure being right next to it.
yeah. What happens?
What happens? Yeah,
Yeah,
wind.
the high goes to the
Wind.
low.
Yeah, wind happens.
Yeah,
Exactly.
thermodynamic systems try to reach equilibrium.
Yes.
Okay, really simple.
Well done.
Okay, so
Right.
why isn't the gas pressure on Earth trying to reach equilibrium with outer space?
Gravity.
Okay, can you demonstrate that hypothesis in an experiment?
Yeah, it can all depend. Like, bro. Like
No, the hypothesis that gas pressure can be created by gravity.
Yeah, real life.
So you're going to affirm the consequent.
Like, what do you think? Is like, do you think that people figured out gravity based on gas pressure? That was the first thing that they thought. Oh, we can't
Rusty,
figure this shit out, but
they didn't figure out gravity, okay? There's two values. There's little g and big G, right? Little g we know empirically from just fucking dropping shit. But there's no evidence that gas takes little parabolic fucking arcs and falls back to Earth. And in fact, if you look in any
doesn't
textbook on the
have.
kinetic theory of gases, there's no little g in there predicting fucking gas molecules are taking parabolic arcs, falling back to Earth.
It doesn't have to. Like,
How do you create
why
gas
would it have to?
pressure? You just appeal to gravity.
Yeah. So what?
So say we got a gas molecule heading straight up.
Mm-hmm.
What makes it come back down? What if it's at a 45-degree angle? Does it take a parabolic arc and fall back to Earth?
Can have depends on the energy that it has.
Okay, but at some point, right, it'll
We
fall
don't have
back to
to talk
Earth,
about
right? It
air
doesn't
molecules.
have, but at some point though, it'll fall back to Earth, right? If gravity's affecting it,
Correct.
and it's not going to fuck off into the vacuum. The gravity is going to do thermodynamics. Now, this isn't in any theory of gas. This can't be demonstrated in a lab or any experiment. Like I said, Rusty, you can say stuff. You can say, yeah, gravity is what causes the gas pressure. But science is empirical. That is a hypothesis. Gravity creates gas pressure. Demonstrate your hypothesis is true in some fucking experiment. This is why you guys fail, because it always comes down to science is empirical. It's based upon tests in the natural world, And when we go do this test, what do you want to know what's going to happen? Where your hypothesis will be falsified.
That's so, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, wouldn't the
Get a
same
vacuum
thing apply
chamber,
to
put
you?
gas inside of it, measure gas pressure at the bottom and not at the top.
Okay.
You know that's stupid. You know that would never happen.
No, you don't. No, because you don't have to do that.
How are you
This
going
is
to
like some.
demonstrate how are you going to demonstrate gravity creates gas pressure?
You take a sample. You measure gas pressure at the ground, at sea level, for example.
That doesn't give you the cause.
No, you don't have. You don't have to measure the cost. Like, no people other than fucking flat
Then how do
earthers
we know it's
can do
causing the
that.
gas pressure then?
You can derive information based on evidence.
Yeah,
No,
our
like you can.
evidence is gas pressure 15 pounds per square inch at sea level, some other value at the top of a mountain. How do we know what caused the difference?
Again, you can derive information from things you observe or measure. Like
How,
it's if you like what
yeah,
okay,
right. We
like,
have
okay, wait.
information. We have a bunch of data. We're taking the data and we're trying to interpret it and see what the data says and what it means.
Yes,
Okay.
okay.
We know we've measured a pressure difference. We want to know why is there a pressure difference? Okay. What
okay.
causes there to be a pressure difference?
Okay,
What
so
experiment can we do to see if things falling is the same cause as the gas pressure?
yeah, okay. So let's put it to the flat earth side, maybe.
Oh no,
And
no,
say
no, 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 no,
no,
no, no, no, no,
there's
no,
no
no,
point.
no, no,
You can't do
Rusty,
it. You
no,
can't do it.
stop.
Okay.
No, I'm being nice, dude. I freaking lucky I'm not screaming at you, bro. You said gravity creates things falling. That was your demonstration, your analogy.
That's my
Hey, if I
claim.
drop something,
My
it
claim.
falls. That's what's creating gas pressure. The same thing that I dropped the freaking bowling ball. The same thing that made that happen creates the gas pressure. How do you know that?
That is a claim that I make, that when we see things falling and that we have a great pressure gradient in the atmosphere, that is a claim that I make. Okay, there's
You don't even
gravity.
know what causes the first one. How are you going to know that whatever causes that is the same thing that causes the second one?
Yeah, no, I'm that is my claim, right? That's what I'm claiming. Now,
Huh?
if we have like a debate about whether the Earth is flat with the flat
Oh,
Earth model and stuff like that,
what
and
flat
I'm
Earth
making the
model?
claim, it doesn't matter the flat. I'm making the claim
Uh-huh.
that gravity is what's causing that. Now, if we are putting the two models side by side, like in a fucking Tekken universe versus shit, right?
Yeah.
Now, what causes this thing to happen, what we see in real life, whether the Earth is flat or not? What's causing things to fall down on the flat Earth? Or
Nobody
to
knows why
produce.
things fall, Rusty. Do you understand? You can say why all you want. Nobody knows why.
Okay, so
Do you think you
you
know
can't
why?
make any
Neither
claim.
can you. You can claim you know why, but you don't. Because I can ask you one simple question. What was the experiment that determined the causal mechanism of a falling object? And you can't tell me one. Nobody can tell me one.
Yeah, I can tell you one.
Oh, okay. Tell me the causal mechanism of a falling object. Go for it.
You take an object, you let go of it, drops
Uh-huh.
down to the ground.
Okay.
That's an experiment that you can make.
That's the effect. We want to know why.
Okay.
You just gave us the observed natural phenomenon.
Oh,
We want the
okay.
cause of it.
Yeah.
You
I
gave
mean,
us a dependent variable. We want the independent variable, Rusty. The cause.
things of like things that have mass, right? Objects that have mass attract each other. Is that
Mhm.
enough? Probably not. Next thing would be
Because it's
because you
listen,
have a
what did
yeah.
I want? Because you're sitting here saying we like X causes Y. You don't have evidence for X causes Y. Okay. You're just saying I could just say the same thing you'd have, and same thing I could say. Well, it's magic freaking fairies with rubber bands that cause things to fall. I'd have the same evidence you do. Nothing.
Okay, so the entire world is just
Who
fucking
cares what the
thumbs
entire
up.
world thinks? I'm talking about evidence. I don't care what the entire world thinks.
Yeah,
If everybody
but
agreed there was magic fucking elf rubber bands, would you be in here fighting for that?
oh,
And I'd be, the whole world thinks it's magic elves with rubber bands. It's got to be true. The whole world thinks it. The whole world thinks a lot of stupid things. I wouldn't want to fucking place bets on what the mob thinks.
I understand that, but it's like the level of evidence that you require
It's
is impossible
it's
to
not.
give
No,
to
no,
you.
no, no. It's a simple experiment.
It's not, apparently.
Yeah, because it's a shit theory. It's not even a theory.
What experiment would
Look,
you
so in
would you
science, the
propose?
scientific method determines cause and effect relationships of natural phenomenon. Okay, you have independent and dependent variables. You manipulate the independent variable and see the effect on the dependent variable. Your dependent variable is your observed natural phenomenon. Now, we've known for fucking 200 years how to do the scientific method and figure out when we see a natural phenomenon, if we can isolate the independent variable to figure it, we can even quantify it and come up with a law of nature, right? You don't have that for gravity. It's a shit idea. That's why they're still fighting about it. Is Einstein right? Is Newton right? What about quantum fucking quantum emergent gravity? And this is why there's 70 freaking theories of gravity, right?
Yeah, but
Because
again, like
it's fundamentally a shit idea.
what experiment would you consider to prove it to your specifications?
Look, what do you mean prove what? The
Gravity.
cause?
Yeah, the cause.
The same thing that follows the scientific method. You isolate an independent variable and manipulate it, and that would manipulate the effect.
So what would you propose to prove that?
A scientific method experiment, dude.
Yeah, but how would you do it?
Okay, let's say, okay, I'll tell you. So, say your independent variable is mass. Mass causes gravity, whatever the fuck mass is. Another poorly defined fucking thing. So let's say it's mass. Mass causes things to fall. Okay, so we can manipulate. That's our independent variable. So we'll take two different masses. Take a mass that's fucking 100 kilograms. We'll take one that's 1,000,000 kilograms. We drop them both. We see which one falls faster. Right? We manipulate it. We want to change the effect. We want to manipulate the independent variable and watch the effect on the dependent variable. That's how we figure out what the cause is. As long as we've eliminated all the other possible confounding variables, we can definitely say, hey, this causes that. Right?
But no,
So this test, if you do this test, what you'll find is, irregardless of the mass, they all fall at the same rate.
not what the cause is, though.
So your cause, mass, can't be the cause because it had no effect on the. It had no manipulation of the independent variable. Had no effect on the dependent variable.
It can still be the cause, but it
How
can
can
still
it be the
be
cause if manipulating
an
it doesn't change it?
you know, it can still be an indicator of like different masses, for example, like fall at a different rate or something like
Rusty,
that,
let me
right?
use an
And so,
analogy. You want to go on the date. There's a whole bunch of girls, and they're all saying no. And they say, if you change one thing, we'll all go on a date with you. So you change your hairstyle, and they all say no. Now you know that's not the cause of them not going on a date. You change your shoes, they say no. Well, that's not the cause. Then you change your cologne, and then they all go on dates with you. Now you know what causes them not to go on a date with you. You smelled. Okay, it wasn't your shoes, it wasn't your hair, it was your frickin' cologne. Okay, you understand? So if I
yeah, but
manipulate mass and it doesn't change the effect, and I still get something falling at 9.8 meters per second squared, then that's not the cause.
yeah, exactly. Like that's the point.
Yeah. So mass can't be the cause. So you asked me to tell you how to do it. We're going to drop two different masses. We'll drop two different weights. So we use, okay, weight, mass. We'll drop fucking two different densities. Oh shit, dude. Now we're getting somewhere. Different densities fall at different rates. Shit. But we got a confounding variable. We got the fucking air that surrounds it. Okay, let's fucking old dude, fucking beat me to it. How'd you know where I was going, old dude? So this experiment in here is in a vacuum chamber, and they use different elements. So it's just called Bremen Drop Tower. It's 5 stories. Okay, they have a vacuum chamber. They put this shit in a capsule and drop it in the vacuum chamber. Now they have, and this dude did an experiment and then got kicked out. He's German. He put all these different elements. They're all the same mass, as in, whatever, and whatever that means. And he dropped them, but they didn't all fall at the same rate in the vacuum chamber. So what this tells you is that mass, even though it's the same, if you do a carefully controlled experiment, there's some other variable that manipulates the rate of fall, that manipulates G.
Yeah.
So what I'm saying is gravity is fucking unknown, dude. It's just an unknown.
I don't know. Like what you just said is like that's what we understand as gravity. Yes.
Yeah, but
Like it's
the
like not
understanding
some unknown
it's
shit.
more like, yeah, it's an understanding that's more like a kid's story. Like they tell people, like, we understand this, but they really don't.
Yeah. Well, like like generally people understand that when we come
In a
to
descriptive way,
like
we understand it. Like we know, like we can make formulas and predict what happens. Like we shoot a cannon, right? Based
yeah
upon, a formulas, we know where the cannonball is going to land, right? Using little g. But like I said earlier, that's known empirically. We don't need a theory of gravity to make those predictions. We don't need
yeah
to know
you
why
can
any of that
of
happens.
course. Yeah,
Yeah.
you
So
can figure it out. Like cavemen can figure shit out
yeah,
to
you could
without
actually
like
just feed the data into an
distance.
AI, and the AI could figure out where the fucking cannonball is going to land without
Yeah,
knowing
well,
anything about Newton's laws, right? So
I mean, yeah, you gotta put the numbers in, but it's not about like the fact that
well, yeah, you could shoot like a
there is like
trillion cannonballs, right? And just punch in the numbers of different of the different configurations of the cannon and the cannonball and the distances and where it lands and all that shit, right? You feed it into the AI and fucking you like once it's done being trained, you go, okay, I shot a cannon, it was tilted at 45 degrees, and the cannonball is gonna, it's got this much gunpowder, the cannonball fucking has this much mass. Where's it gonna land? And it would spit out fucking the right answer. But it wouldn't need to use Newton's laws to figure any of that shit out, right?
so know it because a trebuchet can launch a stone 90 kilos for 300 fucking meters, bro.
Yeah,
He's gonna bust that fucking wall, that castle.
I want to see a
But
human trebuchet, dude. I want to see a fucking launch a human being. But
bro, we had one right next to my like next village or whatever. They had a fucking trebuchet. They shot shit from it. Damn, that shit goes far. But again, you don't have to you don't have to know anything about like gravity or what like we have today. Of course, you can like look at a stone flying a certain distance based on your trebuchet or your catapult.
yeah,
But it's like if there is like things that you can derive from that information about like how far things fly
my
or
only point is
but
that you don't need to know the causal mechanism. Like saying,
yeah,
hey, yeah,
you
we
don't have to know
understand
it yet.
gravity, but that's two different. Like it's a very poor idea. That's all I'm saying. This is why Newton freaking didn't believe it, because it's a poor. The idea itself is poor. It's conflated. Like I said, big G and little g. There's the so-called universal law of gravitation, where two masses pull each other, but then there's little g. In the real world, we do everything with little g. We're not doing fucking gm1 m2 divided by r fucking squared calculations. We're just calculating little g. So, which is, like I said, is known empirically. So when we jump from that and start saying causes, this causes why? Hey, air pressure, that's caused by gravity. Okay. Well, what do you mean by gravity? Do you mean the fucking big G or the little g gravity? Oh, the little g gravity. Okay. Where's the evidence that fucking little g makes shit like gases fall to the fucking ground at 9.8 meters per second squared? There's no evidence of any of that shit. Or that gas can do thermodynamic work, or that gravity can do thermodynamic work, or that gravity can change. Think of how crazy it is to say that shit. That gravity would have to be, or little g would have to be able to do things like heat up matter and change the phases of matter and turn things from solid to liquid and liquid to fucking gas and like all sorts of shit.
I mean,
That if you had a gravity dial, right, and started manipulating your gravity dial, that fucking things would like matter would change phase. Because it has to be able to do because the gas, it's a thermodynamic state. You understand? It's a state of matter. So that thermodynamic state has a certain behavior. And saying gravity can overcome its intrinsic fucking behavior of a gas, of what it does, saying, hey, gravity just stops it from doing what it normally does. There's no evidence of that. And that's a freaking tall claim, man.
Yeah, okay, like you don't have to go to this like specific level of shit, right? Like
I
you
think
just
we
say, like,
do for
okay, like,
this,
gravity-
yeah. It's saying they're fucking
But-
got machines fucking floating around fucking a million miles away.
Yeah, but it's like you don't have like pretty much with all science, you don't go to the absolute base level of why things happen, right? Like, well, that's actually like what physics does, but at some point, it's
Yeah, but-
like you like as a normal person, you basically can't understand what the fuck's happening, right?
Yeah, I understand,
But,
but
like,
what we have here, Rusty, is on one hand we have the laws of thermodynamics, which have no known violations, and in fact, if you look at what's been written by scientists in the literature, Einstein said out of the 3 freaking legs of a stool of physics, thermodynamics is one of the legs, and if you took it out, the whole thing would collapse. Fucking Eddington, who was Einstein's buddy that supposedly confirmed his theory, his eclipse theory of fucking bending light. He said anyone that theory goes against the second law of thermodynamics is condemned to the greatest humiliation. So like it's like things like that on one hand. So that's what they say on one hand. And then they say gravity violates the laws of thermodynamics because there is no thermodynamic theory that actually incorporates gravity into it. You can look all through the textbooks, you can ask ChatGPT, you can look wherever you want, but there's no actual testable thermodynamic theory that has ever survived any laboratory experiment. So, like, we have a bunch of hypotheticals. The whole idea that gravity can create gas pressure and alter the thermodynamic behavior of gas is a hypothesis. That hypothesis has no evidence. They'll say things like, well, it happens on Earth, obviously, because it's obvious. There's this outer space thing, and we have gas pressure gradient, so blah, 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 right? No, it's not obvious. You have to be able to demonstrate in science your central claims through experiment. You just don't get a freebie of like, we can't test it, so we get to assume it's true.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to use the word gravity or whatever. Like, you can use whatever word you want. But
yeah, I agree.
What like if we go from like a base perspective, like let's say we are back in a fucking cave era or whatever, we don't have any like tools to measure it appropriately. Let's say we go up a mountain and we kind of we can feel it's getting harder and harder to breathe the further up the mountain you go.
You're right, just back to the natural phenomenon, dude. I agree with you. We observed that.
Yeah, of course, but you
why does it matter?
It doesn't. Well,
how is that evidence? There's this thing called outer space vacuum.
Because you can observe.
Because we're going to go right back to where we started. Because it goes down forever. It doesn't stop.
That's the thing. Yes.
Then if it stops, why does it stop?
It doesn't
you go
stop.
right back to the same thing is what causes the gas to stop, right? What causes the gas pressure in the first place?
No,
you're right back at the starting point.
No, That's the thing. When you say it stops, that's not like a real thing. Like it doesn't stop or whatever. Like it
Ever.
doesn't stop. No, it's that's the word stop has no meaning in this discussion.
It means that the vacuum state can't get any lower. That's what it means to stop.
Yeah, but it's meaningless in this discussion. Because that's not what the vacuum
No,
of
it
space
does.
is.
I'm
That's
trying to
not
explain to you why it means something. Because
no
then
one
we're
is
just
saying that.
quibbling about where the fucking boundary is.
Yeah. Well, actually, if you actually like, do you believe that the vacuum of space actually exists?
No,
Okay, then what's
I'm
the
trying to
point?
tell you it's impossible.
Well, that okay. So what's the point? What are we in? What are we even arguing about? Like,
Do you think it exists?
yes, I do.
Why?
Well, that then.
Because you climbed to the top of the mountain and couldn't breathe, so you thought if you go a little bit higher, you're gonna fucking whiz around the ball?
No, it's one point of an information that I experienced
Yeah,
and that I
that's
can
great.
think about. Also, because I have a brain that I can like think about and say,
Uh-huh.
okay, if I go
Okay,
higher,
so it's hard to breathe up a mountain. Where does your brain take you from here?
Obviously, hypoxia.
Mhm. No,
Trying to
like
figure out what your logic is. It's hard to breathe up a mountain.
okay, like
And?
no, from this specific point of argument, like if you go higher up again, right? If you go increase your elevation, the air gets thinner and thinner, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So what would that tell
When
you?
does it stop getting thinner?
Hey, this is your
It
logic,
does never,
right?
never, ever.
It never
Don't
stops
ask me a
getting thinner.
question and ask
Okay.
us what it tells us. I asked you. You go up a mountain, it's harder to breathe, it gets less and less dense. And the question's for you to finish. It's your logic, dude. You're taking us somewhere. Don't ask us the question.
Okay. I mean, this like alone, like I'm not taking any point of evidence by itself and
This
not
was your evidence.
include it. No, I haven't made. Did I make any claim?
Yeah, we go up a mountain, it gets less and less dense. I'm waiting for the therefore.
Therefore, I didn't say anything after that. But you like, you know what
Okay,
we're talking
so
about.
let me ask it like
It's a
this.
point of
What was
evidence.
the
Claim has
point
no
of the
boundary.
analogy being a caveman going up a mountain and he finding it hard to breathe? What was the point?
The
What
point
does
of
that
the
tell us?
discussion that we had before about the
What
atmosphere
Jedi's
and
asking
then
you is, what does that tell us about space by him going up and it's hard to breathe?
I know you want
See,
to say
this is
want to
see.
say
Look,
gravity.
okay,
but-
hold on. I think I know where the problem is. So what you're doing is extrapolating. You're going from one pressure area to another one by raising an elevation, and you're extrapolating a continuation of that state, of that change, right? That there's a gradient that continues changing. We're asking you, you're extrapolating to what, to where? Does it end lowering pressure? Does it continue forever? Because if it ends, then there has to be a boundary somewhere. Okay.
Oh.
And even if it goes down forever.
No, that don't.
Right.
Go on.
Well, even if it goes down forever, then like you're gonna have to have some sort of fucking infinite universe, which contradicts the Big
Yes.
Bang. So like,
No.
I'm trying really hard
What?
to avoid like some infinite regression fallacy, right? But the point is that are we quibbling about where the air pressure, this extrapolation? Because like I said, like you admitted, is that like, is this hypothetical? And you said, yeah, probably, right? So like where it stops, how does it continue to go down?
Yeah.
What rate
It's because
is
it's a
it
stupid
linear? Is
question.
it inverse square? Is it adiabatic? Like how does it go down? At what rate? Like how do we know where it stops? Does it go down enough to allow space travel? Does it go down enough so that there's a vacuum sufficient to fly rockets from here to frickin' Mars in, right? That's what we're talking about. We're talking about outer space that they claim
No,
exists.
we
Is what
don't
we're
really
talking
do
about.
that. Yeah, but the thing is, I'm looking at the fact that if we go from sea level higher, like you elevate from that point, gas pressure decreases,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, why are
And
you
you
okay, great. So we have two actually known values. How are we extrapolating it into unknown values?
So there's temperature.
what
Lots of things.
what does that even mean? Like it's
We're
if you go,
extrapolating, dude.
yeah, of course. Okay, so can you extract some information from that fact? Like
Yeah, we've
that,
got gas pressure that
Yeah,
changes
we
with
got
altitude and
15
Yeah.
pounds per
temperature.
square inch of sea level. We got
and it
freaking
gets
10 pounds per square inch on top of Mount Everest. Okay, now what?
okay, like it gets lower and lower the higher you go.
Okay,
Okay.
So like
continuously, forever?
I mean, is our next
continuously,
question
yes.
what caused that?
The cause is the point, probably.
Yeah.
So on the,
So what
I mean,
causes gas pressure?
I'm gonna ask you that.
A container. It's
A
defined
what?
as the force that the gas exerts upon the walls of its container. It's also
Well,
the thing that keeps the gas here and stops it expanding into an available volume of vacuum if there was one.
But wouldn't the gas pressure be equal everywhere if it
Is the
was in a
temperature
container?
equal? Is the gas produced in the same place the whole time? What? There's multiple variables now. Temperature,
Oh,
where
it's
the
called
gas is produced.
thermodynamics. We're not doing
Yeah.
thermostatics.
Okay, so if you had, like, if there was a container that was like like a fucking iron or like a glass thing, like a
Is this container
what
static?
do you call it? What do you call it? Like the firmament.
Don't worry about that. This container, is the environment static? Does it have variance of temperature, for example? Does the temperature come and go, for example? Is the gas produced
Yes.
inside the
Yes.
container, or have you just added it to the container? Is the gas dispersing into the environment? Is the water in the environment?
Yeah, that's
In your imaginary
all fine.
container?
Yeah, I can imagine that.
Okay,
Of course.
so it'd be like the Earth then, right? A very, very, very dynamic thermodynamic system, right? That's what the Earth
Yes.
is. It's a thermodynamic system. Now,
As
within
everything
the
is.
laws and definitions of thermodynamics, to have this environment, the thermodynamic system must be closed.
mà từ thông tin đấy để suy ra được tam giác nào bằng tam giác nào. Đấy, cứ so sánh
Someone
từ
hot
tam giác thì
micing?
sẽ
Or
lật
am
mò
I
ra được
going
tam giác
crazy right
x.
now?
Từ tam giác x
No,
để suy ra hai góc bằng nhau.
What the hell's going on?
Tam giác mục tiêu.
Why would you enter the chat with an open mic having a conversation with somebody?
I'm talking about a thermodynamic system. For it to exist the way that it does, it must be closed.
Yeah, he was muted. Yeah, go on.
No, that's it. It must be closed.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be closed though.
Yeah, it does. Or the
I don't
gas
understand.
would expand into another available volume if that available volume was vacuous and available space. If the gas is not contained, entropy will increase and the gas will continue to expand because of the energy that's held within the gas that's given to it by temperature. So because of the temperature, the gas is always going to move and collide. Because of these random collisions, it's expanding. You need a closed system to keep the gas here.
But if it was expanding, like how would you be able to like live in a in an enclosed environment? Like if you
What?
if like if you like right now, of course, like the sun is putting
The sun? No,
energy.
no. We're talking about gas behavior, right?
Yes,
We're
I
talking
understand
about
that.
how
Yeah.
it expands
Okay.
into volumes and how we have pressure. We got to the question after discovering that there's a gas pressure gradient. The question was, what causes that? Well, within thermodynamic law, we're going to require a container to stop the expansion. The consequence of the containment is pressure.
No, but you have
No,
you don't even have to like refer to
so you
gravity
said
because
no.
you
No, we're
have,
not talking about gravity. We're talking about what caused gas pressure. And at the moment, I'm waiting for you to concede that yes, containers cause gas pressure.
it does what?
I'm
What
waiting for
causes
you
what?
to concede that yes, a container, a limitation of volume that holds gas, is the necessary antecedent for gas pressure. It's the consequence of containment. PV equals nRT, the force that the gas exerts upon the walls of its container.
Yeah, but it's not the cause though.
Sorry, it is not the cause.
It's not.
So it's not the cause. The gas
container.
exerting its pressure upon the walls of its fixed environment, a closed system. Like, for example, when you put gas inside a tire, by consequence of you putting that gas inside that fixed volume, because of the movement of gas and the density of that gas, it will be under pressure because it can't go anywhere.
Yeah, but what's the cause is the pressure
The con-
itself. It's not the container. In that case, like it's the
Again,
same. It's the
again,
same.
listen.
It's the
Force
same.
over area. Gas pressure is caused by the force of the gas pressing against the walls of its container. If you don't have a container to press against, you don't have pressure.
Yeah, and then we go back to gravity, and then
No,
all of a sudden it's completely different.
you go back to gravity. I'm still waiting for you to concede.
About a, I
The
mean, I
gas is caused by the
understand.
force of the gas exerted upon the walls of its container.
Well, the cause thing is the problem that I have right
Okay.
now.
Okay.
Because I was told that you can't really, you can go deeper and deeper and deeper at some point.
No, I can put gas inside a container, and by consequence of that action, the gas is under pressure. Because the way that gas
Right.
behaves is it wants to expand. It can't. The container's in the fucking way.
Yeah, I understand that. Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, good. So that's what happened then. In my
Yeah,
little
but
experiment,
if I say that gravity creates a gradient and someone
then
tells
you
me
can say that,
he,
but you would have to demonstrate that
yeah,
in an
exactly.
experiment.
See, like that's the difference. Like,
Yeah, you can't
yeah, I
do an
can.
experiment. I've just
The
given you one, and you keep
demonstration.
going, nuh-uh.
No, the demonstration would be pretty fucking obvious if you go up a mountain. Shit,
No,
right?
that's you begging the question and affirming the consequent.
No, it's a
Yes, it is.
experiment towards something.
No, it's not an experiment. It's
If
the
we,
observation of a phenomena.
yeah, and
Yeah.
okay, what we can use a different word than
No,
gravity.
it's not an experiment yet. It's not even a
Yeah, it is.
hypothesis until you make a supposition of cause of the phenomena that you witness. At the moment, it's the caveman changing his altitude and finding it hard to breathe or not.
Yeah, which has been done
Yeah, so that's the
before,
phenomena.
and
We agree. Now, what causes that?
yeah, that's the same thing. Like it's the cause.
Yes, what I
If
asked
you
you
go
15 minutes
further and
ago.
further
Yeah.
down, yeah, but so like you can't put it down to a cause at some point.
No, we're asking what causes it, and now you're saying no, we can't
Yeah,
put it down to cause,
that's the
even though
thing.
you want to assert the cause is gravity. Like, can you
Well,
stumble
yes,
over any
yes.
more words?
No, at
No.
some point, of course,
Good.
it would be gravity, but of course, like if you don't accept that, then what
It's
am I
not
gonna
whether
do?
we accept it, it's whether there's evidence or not.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean,
You don't have the evidence. Yeah, that's the thing. The real question is, how come you accepted it without evidence? That's the real question. They showed you a diagram in freaking kindergarten. Oh, look, this is how it works. And they drew a circle and they drew a bunch of arrows to the middle of the circle. And they're like, this is what holds the gas down, these arrows. And you're like, okay, teacher,
No,
I believe you.
I'm just using a word
It doesn't
to
matter what you
explain
call it.
a concept.
All
Right? Like everyone else does.
Yeah. But what I'm saying is there's no evidence that concept is actual existent in reality.
It depends what evidence you accept.
Experiment.
What's your
Yes.
what's your evidence? What's
What
your
evidence do you
evidence?
accept?
But as a like, you can first off, you can drop an object. Of course, it goes down to the ground.
God.
You can have a satellite.
Are you like in some
that
weird loop,
orbits.
dude?
Are we talking about the
Yes,
behaviour of
circular
rocks?
reasoning loop.
Sorry, we're not talking about the behaviour of rocks. We're talking about the behaviour of gases. So in your analogy or your demonstration, can you use a gas?
It's a completely different thing, which we just talked about.
Rusty P, the airbender. I want to see you throw gas.
Here's your reasoning. I really want to.
Once you
I
drop
really want to
gas-
pass out his reasoning, bro. Like, okay, so he goes, we have a 14.7 at sea level. I climb the mountain and it's like 11, right? PSI. And you say, what causes that? And he goes, gravity. And he goes, and then we say, oh, what's your evidence of that? And he says, well, there's 14.7 PSI at sea level and 11 on top of the mountain. That's my evidence.
No,
It's circular
Listen.
reasoning. Yes, that's what you
I'm
literally did. I've been listening to
No.
you.
yeah, but we are talking about one specific thing, about the gas pressure. And I'm not saying, like, of course, like there's gravity underlying the whole concept of it. But I'm not saying, like, it's like, if we just look at the gas pressure decreasing the higher you go, you don't have to invoke gravity or whatever. It's just like an observation. Like you don't have to make any you don't have to, like, what do you say it?
Come to a conclusion?
Yeah, you don't have to draw any conclusions to it. Yeah.
Okay, so it was a waste of time for the caveman to go up the fucking mountain in the first place then.
No,
Not being as we're
you
not
don't
coming
have
to any
to-
conclusions, otherwise we just observe a change in gas pressure and it's harder to breathe up the mountain. According to you, you don't need to reach any more conclusions.
No, the thing is, if you go again, like, if you can observe that you can go up a mountain, right? And you can just increase your elevation and you feel that the gas pressure is decreasing, right?
Mm-hmm.
What would that, like, for like I mean,
Getting
if you're talking about
further
flat Earth,
away
right?
from
Like,
where the
this
gas is produced.
No, it doesn't have to be
Hold on,
where
you're
it's
gaining
produced.
altitude within your example, going up the top of a mountain. Gas is produced on and within the surface of the Earth. I mean, let's take an observation of our whole environment. It's also cold up a mountain. We should probably take into effect the changes in temperature.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah,
Of course.
fucking dynamics. Let's include the temperature as shit. Let's also include where and how the gas is produced and cycled and reabsorbed into the environment.
Yeah, and what, like, could you like draw some information from that?
Yeah, the further I get away from where the gas is produced, it appears to get less dense. The temperature also appears to decrease. It's cold up a mountain.
Yes.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
So we seem to be talking about thermodynamics, temperature held with gas, its behavior relative to where it's produced and its environment, the changes in the environment over time. Sometimes it's warmer up a mountain.
Yeah, but compared
Seasons.
to the base of the mountain, and
Y-
at the same
Yeah,
time, probably
yeah,
like colder, right?
yeah. Sometimes, and I say sometimes, like
Not always,
throughout the year, shit changes.
all the fucking time, basically.
Yeah, shit changes. Weather changes. Yeah, all of these things. Yeah. The amount of
The
water
thing,
held within the gas in the atmosphere changes. Yeah, all of these things, dude.
I understand that, but
Good. I'm glad
again, it's
why did we start talking about gravity? You haven't even mentioned any of the other
the
observable things. Got cold up that mountain, didn't it?
no, the thing is that you can derive
Sorry,
information.
we're talking about gas behavior.
Yes,
Yeah, that's
again,
going to include the temperature of the gas, isn't it? We understand how
not
different
really.
temperatures of gases are going to act differently because of the amount of energy that's held within the gas.
Mm,
Hot air rises, for example, cold air sinks.
right.
It,
Oh damn, I got a fucking
feel like I'm
know
educating
what that
you,
means.
your caveman. You're asking what conclusions we reached, dude, and you just want to jump to gravity. Haven't mentioned anything else.
I don't have to.
Just
I don't
gravity.
have to do it. It's just that gravity is a name of a thing that people
A
understand,
thing.
right?
That
Sorry.
has nothing to do with gas pressure.
Yes.
You can look through all the books on the kinetic theory of
does
gas, and
have
you're not going to see any gravity mentioned in any of it.
Yeah, here we do, though.
Not even within the kinetic theory of gases, it tells you there is no force of attraction between the container walls and the gases. The container wall isn't acting upon the gas and, over space and time or whatever, pulling the gas towards it. Gas moves freely and randomly in all directions, dude, colliding with itself and the walls of its container. We don't
Um,
have to talk about gravity because it's not included. It's not observed.
It okay. Well, you claim that. That's
I've
fine.
just cited the kinetic theory of gases. Would you like me to put it in the side chat? There's no mention of the
If you
word
want
gravity
to.
here. There's also not a
There
G in
doesn't
PV
have to
equals
be.
nRT.
There doesn't have to be, and I haven't even
It
said
doesn't
anything
have to
about it.
be gravity in gas behavior, even though you're trying to shoehorn it in, saying it does actually act on gas.
No, I'm saying that we can observe certain things, and you don't have to refer to gravity at some point. Like I did it, but
Yeah, we understand that. You're making the same arguments over and over again. They were addressed. We don't care what you call it. We don't care about any of that shit. We're talking about its possibility. Is it possible to
yeah,
restrict the behavior of a gas
Mhm.
based upon some force? Call it gravity, call it whatever you want. The observation we have is low pressure on the mountain, high pressure on the at a lower elevation. So what? Doesn't logically follow that that continues forever or stops at any particular point. We have a surface on the surface of the Earth. That's fine. Where's the other surface?
The other surface?
Yeah, you need another surface, dude. Gas pressure is the force exerted on the walls of the container. If you don't have a surface at the other side of the fucking boundary,
It's
the
not
gas just fucks up to forever.
okay. If you think that, like there's
It's what's
I'm sorry.
demonstrated in
It's not.
nature.
It's
It's not what
not.
I think, dude. I can demonstrate this in nature.
Okay, demonstrate it, please. You can just explain it to me.
Is he
Please
being
explain it.
serious right now?
Explain it to me how gas pressure only is able to exist in a container, please.
Can you demonstrate it in any other way?
You
I'm
said
asking
demonstrate
him.
it, right?
No, you demonstrate it.
Yeah, okay. Got a bike?
The claim that you have.
You got a bike?
I have a bike, yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Try to pump up the rim.
The what?
The rim. Pump up the rim. Create gas pressure next to
Okay,
the
yeah.
fucking rim without the tire, dude. The rim is one surface, right? There's no opposite surface. Use your pump to pump up the rim.
Okay. Hmm?
Okay, you can't do that, right? But if I take a tire, I take an opposite boundary. Now I can create pressure. Wow. Now you have gas pressure because you have a container. No container, no gas pressure. Container, gas pressure.
What's around you right now?
I don't know, but it's not fucking nothing.
Yeah, but isn't there like a gas pressure thing going on around you right now?
Yeah. The gas that
correct.
I'm surrounded by is pressing inwards in all directions into the space that I occupy. Yep.
Yeah. And Indio says that if you put pressure into a tire or whatever he said, that's only the gas pressure. So there's gas pressure existing in a container, of course, which would be the tire. But right now, around us, also there is gas pressure
Yeah. What causes that?
existing around it.
Yeah. What causes that?
Well, again, we would go we would go to gravity again, but
No. Again, we would go to a container.
but
Fuck.
why? But why? Like
It's
you're
wow.
saying
You
you're
people are
saying
so brainwashed. You can't even admit this clear and obvious truth. You require a container. As soon as I asked you what
no,
causes
how?
the gas pressure that surrounds us, you jump to gravity and completely disavow any mention of the word container. Are you sick
But
and
we have
tired?
just
You repulsed?
we have just talked. We have just talked about gas pressure in a container when I guess Indio was it about pumping up his fucking bike tire,
Yeah, we're
right?
looking for another causal mechanism that causes gas pressure that we can
Yes.
demonstrate, or the claim that you say that we can't demonstrate this. It's called entropy. Every single time we open a container of gas to a lower pressure environment, the entropy increases and the gas fills the space and might equalize in a low volume.
Yes.
What,
Completely
you
different
don't
thing,
have an
but
experiment for your claim, though. That's why Injo put the gas inside a tire. He did that. You can do that. Now, what can we do for gravity apart from go up a mountain and make big ass jumps of logic?
to go to gravity, it's just a thing where when you claim gas pressure cannot exist without a container.
Then show another
That's
way that can.
but it's like fucking obvious. Like
No, it's
I
not
understand
obvious
you are
until you
not an idiot.
demonstrate it.
You don't
Apparently,
have
it wouldn't be
to.
obvious
You
to
don't
you
have
that
to.
there was a container unless we demonstrated to you 5 times. So we're going to
Yes,
need
but oh
demonstration,
my god.
actual physical reality taking place.
Yes, physical reality is taking place all the fucking time, and you just
Oh my
can't fucking
God, are
see
you
it.
broken? Just give an experiment where you very manipulate gravity to cause the phenomena of pressure.
We're not talking about gravity.
You keep fucking bringing it up. You wanted to 2 minutes ago, then
No,
you got
it's
upset. Are you really
I
this
said
broken?
I said before that I didn't want to bring up gravity.
And stop bringing it up.
I didn't bring it up. You
Okay,
brought
so
it
the
up.
gas around us that we're surrounded by, what was
Yeah.
your point?
There's no point.
Oh, so again, he brings up a subject that has no fucking point. I swear it was gravity. Please follow your own fucking words. I am. You're not
2 hours
making any
ago.
sense, and you keep contradicting yourself.
No, I don't. If we are agreeing that
Jesus, stop
we
him!
don't.
Someone.
What are you saying, bro? Like, if we agree that we don't bring up
You
the
said you didn't want to bring
gravity
up
shit.
gravity.
Yes,
So
and I
what was
did.
the point
I
of us
didn't.
being surrounded by gas? According to you, no point.
The
It was
question is on
gravity.
you.
You're just
The
lying.
question is on you, man. The question is on fucking you.
What, to
Why are you
demonstrate
asking
there
me?
isn't no other way to cause pressure?
Yeah, you said that like gas pressure can't
You're
exist
making a
without a
claim it's
barrier.
caused by gravity. That's your claim.
No,
Your claim
again,
is in
you are
violation of the
cycling.
second law of thermodynamics. We've been over and over and over it with you.
No, you are cycling back about the gravity shit. Again, I
Yeah,
said
someone else talked to me.
no, you you did it. Again, like I said we go away from the whole like gravity shit from the like
You brought up
overall.
2 examples, one a caveman going up a mountain and experiencing it hard to
Yes.
breathe, and then you brought up there's gas
That wa-
surrounding us.
Mhm,
At no
I
point
did.
in these conversations did you want to bring up gravity.
Yes, I especially
Oh, you do
said
now.
because you bring it all you bring it up all the
Stop
way like
tripping
all the
over your
time.
fucking self, dude. Have some fucking humility. Like,
Yeah,
please,
all
I'm
right.
begging to your better nature.
Yeah, I understand. Like, come on, like
I'm gonna go walk my invisible dog. Someone else can talk to you.
yeah, go on. Is there any flat earther still here that wants to debate?
What are we debating exactly? Ideas versus evidence.
Yeah, again, the same thing that who was that person before me that left? So I guess he misunderstood the whole fucking debate, or he deflected. I don't understand.
Who, Jedi? Who are you talking
Yeah,
about?
Jedi. Yep, yeah. Like Jedi, yeah, probably. Which is the person that I was debating about against. I mean, it seemed
Well, I
like he
mean,
was
like
just
I told you,
deflecting.
this is a common thing that happens. You have ideas. We have evidence. You won't let go of your ideas. When you first heard the idea of outer space and that gravity creates gas pressure, how did you evaluate whether that claim was true or not? Like, what did you do?
That was the thing where we ended up at the end of our debate. Like I was trying to say that okay, we don't use that word. We don't use the word gravity. We
Why are
don't
you
use
adjusting
that.
what I said? That has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. I'm asking how you evaluated it in the first place.
Well, we had that debate topic at the beginning of our discussion that I had with him, but
Talk about you.
you
When you first heard it, when you were a little kid, what did you do to evaluate its truth?
I just look around at reality. It's not specifically gravity, but
You looked around
kind
at
of
reality and you concluded that there's no container for the earth.
that's not the conclusion that I made when I was a kid.
I just want to know where you get the idea that somehow gas pressure is the way you think it is for the reason you think it is.
Could you form a conclusive question, please?
And I just want to
Like an
know
answer
why
to?
you think that gas pressure is the way it is for the reason you think it is. And you
For the
can't tell me
reason.
the reason. You're actually trying to reject your own reasoning. You're trying to throw
I mean,
gravity under the bus and say, "Hey, let's not use that word."
okay,
But
so
there's
it's
no
like
other mechanism you can point to say, "Hey, we have gas pressure without a container."
well, that's actually kind of what it is. It's the best explanation that I have for how if you want to say gas pressure, of course, but everything uh around the Earth, like how the physics work, kind of. Yeah, gravity is
We're
kind of
giving you
the
the
best.
physics. They don't work.
Well, they kind of give the best explanation.
But the best explanation has no evidence.
Especially,
So
espe-
if that's the best explanation, it's like I don't know what to tell you. If your best explanation has no supporting evidence, I don't know what to tell you, dude.
well, there hasn't been any other big explanation or big evidence thing that has been coming out that explains the word any differently. So
That
what am I going to
explains the
believe
gas
in?
pressure gradient.
Yeah, gas pressure gradient.
Here's one.
Pretty conclusive.
That gases
pretty
are
conclusive.
created on the surface of the Earth. And what
Uh-huh.
you have is diffusion, the diffusing of gases from the surface, and that's why there's a gas pressure gradient.
Okay, I haven't really experienced that. That things.
What are you talking about? It would be exactly like what you experience now.
If gases like are being expulsed from the Earth.
Not only that, but they're being created on the surface of the Earth, as in because of thermodynamic processes, chemical reactions, things like that. Gases are created on the surface of the Earth. Right? So when you have so what happens when you have a chemical reaction that turns some group of molecules into some other group of molecules, and then it emits a gas?
Mm.
That gas pressure in that region goes up, right? But then the gas diffuses into the surrounding area, and you will have a gas pressure gradient from the point of the chemical reaction going out radially from there.
Yeah, so
Yeah, there's your explanation.
all right. I mean,
And
I
funny,
wasn't
this is
asking
what the
how
Chinese
gases
this is what
are.
the Chinese thought way back in the day. They had a name for it. It was called the air wind or something like that.
Yeah, but like I mean, do you think that we live in an enclosed space?
Yeah,
So
you have to.
is
And that's what we've
is
been trying to
there
tell you for 2 hours now, is that we have to. It's not opinion.
yeah, but
Like
wouldn't
opinion,
we what
the second law of thermodynamics is a natural law. It's a law of nature. It's not an opinion. It's not what I think. I go, hey, what does the second law predict? It predicts this. Okay, that's what's going to happen.
yeah, but it's not a law that applies to your worldview.
What are you
Like
talking about? I'm
well,
talking
you
about the
you
second law right now. You're not. You're making up your own bullshit.
no, if you would be in an enclosed space, at some point the energy would increase more and more and more, and you would just fucking die because it's getting
No,
hotter and hotter.
because temperature radiates infrared radiation, so the energy would. So, for instance, if you take a blowtorch and you heat up poker, it doesn't heat up forever. It'll reach a certain level of equilibrium where it stops heating up. Right, 500 degrees Celsius, whatever it is. It'll reach an equilibrium.
Yeah,
But
because
the
yeah,
Earth is a system that is in constant flux. It is dynamic. It's never going to reach equilibrium, probably not in your lifetime at least. And it radiates heat through electromagnetic radiation. So it's never going to the temperature's not going to go up and up and up forever.
well, if it's yeah, I mean in real life, as like if you are a glober, of course, yeah, that makes sense. But if you are if you think that the Earth is enclosed in a I don't know, like a dome or something like that, then that whole system doesn't make fucking sense.
Is that like your argument? So your
Like
counter
who,
argument to what I said was, if
where?
you're a flat earther, that whole argument doesn't make sense. That's your counter argument.
Yeah, if you think that the Earth is enclosed in a dome or
Yeah, it
whatever,
don't make fucking
the
sense. That's your
energy,
argument. Great argument.
yeah,
It don't make
yeah,
sense. Great argument.
it doesn't make like scientifically, it doesn't make sense.
I
Yes.
just told you why it does make sense. I gave you the reason.
Okay, so where is the energy going again?
It's being radiated.
Yeah,
What is
like
radiation?
it's energy that.
Electromagnetic radiation.
Yeah. So go on.
And it's being radiated away from the Earth.
From the Earth, away from the Earth. Okay.
Away from the Earth. Like the electromagnetic
How,
radiation. So
yeah, I
you have
understand
like
that.
you
You
have
you
you
don't
have a
have to. You
closed
don't have to
system,
argue.
but bro, okay. You have closed systems and open systems. Okay.
What is the
In a
Earth?
closed system, energy can pass, but matter can't. In an open system, matter and energy passes. Okay. So we're in a closed system, as in the energy can pass, but the matter can't.
All right.
Now, do you understand? So we
Hmm.
can emit radiation. We can take in radiation. We take in radiation from the sun. We emit radiation. It's called radiative cooling, in fact.
Yeah, but again, like if you would be
This
able
is
to.
okay. You're going to tell me
Yeah.
that we're not using physics now?
No, but if you have like
Is
a.
that physics, dude? Yes or no? Is that the common modern version of physics, of thermodynamics?
I'm not gonna say anything about physics though. Like, there's no fucking point.
Thermodynamics.
Yes, I understand that.
How can heat transfer? There's 3 ways. Can you tell me the ways?
What?
There's 3 ways for heat to transfer. Can you tell me the ways?
What? No, radiation probably is one of them.
Radiation, convection, and conduction.
Mm.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
Anything with a
What else?
temperature emits radiation.
I gotta go.
All right.
We're gonna wait
I'll see you later.
5 minutes.
It was very convenient.